With Father's Day approaching this Sunday, June 21st, don't forget, I thought it'd be the perfect time to reflect on what special skill or lesson that your dad taught you. So this is my question for you today. What's the best thing you learned from your dad? Because fathers play a special role in our lives, whether it's teaching us to ride a bike or throw a ball properly, or teaching us the importance of following our dreams. Dads show us that love can be expressed in a lot of different ways. Now for me, my dad was a cancer surgeon, and I was really so well aware of the fact that he saved lives and therefore kept families intact, because everywhere we would go around town, people would stop us to thank him, and then they would bend down and they would look me right in the eye and say, "Do you know that your daddy saved my life?" I got it. And it taught me that I needed to think long and hard about what my purpose was while I was on this earth. How was I going to make a difference in the lives of others and maybe leave the world a little better than I found it? And could I? Would I be able to do that? Well, interestingly, this past year of my life, moving beyond a cancer patient to becoming an advocate fighting for the health of other women, has finally let me answer that question and began to use the skill, that big dream that my dad taught me, by simply living his life. I lost my dad when I was only 13 years old. He died in a plane crash, but boy, oh boy, he was a profound role model. And as I travel the country now speaking at cancer events, my dad is right there beside me on every single podium. Okay, so I have some other vivid memories of my dad that I'll share. My dad always had these huge stacks of medical books all around his big easy chair. And I too, looking around my office, I too am now an avid reader. Love reading. And while my dad was one of the busiest physicians in town, he still found time to build us a really cool tree house. Kids remember those things. Thanks, Dad. And Dad also had me plant this big vegetable garden with him and tend to it so that I would start to understand the importance of eating vegetables and real foods. Remember, he was a cancer surgeon. It took me a while, I must admit, but I finally got that one too, Dad. And I am now doing the very, very best to eat clean, foods that don't promote the growth of cancer cells. In fact, I'm writing a book about it now. My dad also spoke a couple different languages. He had lived on several continents growing up around the world, and he'd always speak Spanish with me at breakfast. And he really encouraged me to explore my world and get to understand how other people lived and what was needed in other countries. He inspired in me my love of travel and my curiosity about the world. I got it, Dad. I turned out to be a journalist who has also traveled the world, sharing with viewers how other people lived. And finally, my dad always treated my mom like a lady. She actually said that he treated her like Queen Bee. He was tender and loving, and he also respected her intelligence, and he'd speak to her about his medical cases and about politics and world events. I mean, he was obviously a brilliant doctor, but he never flaunted it. And you know what, Dad? I found a loving husband just like you. He respects my intelligence, he is my best friend, and he also treats me with love and tenderness. And he's a man of convictions and compassion, just like you. So thank you for setting that example and teaching me what to look for in a partner. All right, so that's my story. Now it's your turn. I want to know what you learned from your dad. I just think this is such a great exercise because it not only allows us at this time of the year to better appreciate our dads, but also to appreciate the people that we have become because of them.